In this episode, you'll learn the key to operating at maximum human capacity and make the best decisions you possibly can. Welcome to Energy Alignment for Entrepreneurs, the podcast helping high-performing entrepreneurs be free from anxiety, trauma, and stress through balancing emotions and consciousness expansion. I'm your host, Justin Gliskus. Here we go. 3 things you'll discover today. How I use a lack of clarity for internal navigation. Why getting clarity is not something you can try and accomplish. What to do if you're so foggy you can't even consider seeing clear. Now, to address an internal fogginess that is just strong, that is heavy, where do we start? And that means that we just take a zoom out. We take a step back. And we're honest, we're curious, and we're open. Because those are the 3 variables that are going to be the main fuel source for dissipating any form of fun. If you can just be patient while still acting aggressively, you will find yourself at a place where the fog isn't so tremendous. Now, patience and execution, that is a dance requiring balance, like a real genuine balance. And that means that you're not forcing, but you do see that there are certain actions which you love to do. No matter how foggy certain areas of your life are, there will continuously be moments where that fog goes from 100 to 0 instantly. For me, that took shape a lot of the times in playing football, but more structurally, moving my body. Movement is a great place to start, practically. If you're just, whatever it is, right? Whether it's relationship is tough, career is tough, both are tough. If you can get yourself moving, you'll notice that the heaviness of the thing will change. And I'm not saying it's fixed. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying you're at the end of the rainbow immediately. I am saying that if you do this, if you move your body and you prioritize awareness around when you're foggy and acting swiftly with that awareness, then the time that you spend in the fog is going to be less than the time that you are seeing clearly. And when that is the ratio of your waking and sleeping hours, the ratio of where your consciousness operates through, then we can get into the next point. So why getting clarity is not something to try to accomplish. I'm talking about patience, and I'm also talking about execution. There's this game of understanding how to be ruthless when you know you need to get into a new state, right? Because sometimes we get into those lower vibrations. I'm not going to act like I'm perfect. Sometimes we get vibrations that put you stagnant, almost make you feel scared to move. You ever feel frozen before? I'm sure you have, right? You ever feel empty inside before? I'm sure you have. Because I'm not alone. I know that. Now, if you're strong enough to admit it, that's the game. Like, it's only natural that humans go through the vibrations. Now, a lot of individuals, the hyperachiever especially, that ego development stage where you're like, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get these desires. My whole life is about getting rich. Like, I have people like that around me, and I don't judge them, but it's a very forceful manner, and it weakens you. But all that being said, it's a cycle. Just as the winter weakens nature in terms of not all the plants are growing like they would be in spring, that's healthy. So, therefore, you can understand that getting clarity around where you are in your life, it's not something you can force. That's the main point. But what you can do is be honest about the quality of your moments. And if you're sensitive and your consciousness is naturally expanding because that's how it works, You don't say, God, give me a Christ-like consciousness. You don't demand that from God. But if you do this work genuinely, maybe you will see how Christ saw. Now, ultimately, there just can't be a force in the natural game. It has to be like you don't have a choice anymore because you're sensitive. You didn't choose the sensitivity. I didn't choose this path. If my 8th grade or my 12th grade self were to look at me, who I am today, I couldn't comprehend it. I don't know how I got here. I don't know why I am who I am, but all I know is there's this thing that has to be shared. And that's what I'll say. So now we're looking at how I use a lack of clarity for internal navigation. This is a beautiful thing because let's say you get triggered. You have something that doesn't go perfect in your life. The mind wants to resist that trigger. It resists the fact that it is looping in a cycle and it can't force its way through that cycle. The mind, yes, that's how the mind operates. Now, when you notice that, you shine light, you're aware that you're not clear. See, for me, it makes me laugh a little bit because what else are you going to do? I've judged myself enough that I just can't get mad at what is triggered. I'm just like, oh, okay, all right, let's feel that. Let's be compassionate for ourselves. Let's not act like this thing isn't here. Let's be very honest and genuine about the fact that people get triggered, that humans have attachments, that self-identification creates conformity and conditioning when it is uncracked. And then there's the first sliver, fracture in that conditioning. It can feel like your world's falling apart. Promise you, God loves you. The only reason you get to a point where your life feels like it's falling apart is because there's a calling that's bigger than what your current life is, and it's meant for you. There are some people who have jobs. There are some people who have careers. There are some people who have callings, yeah? Now, I would say, to be deeply honest between you and I, every single human on this planet has a mother and calling. For real. But hey, it might take some more years for people to realize that they're not human doings nor human havings, but they're beings, right? You can't force this upon people. Why have some of the avatars been brutally judged in the past? It's because they're at a expansion that is deeper than mainstream. And then the politicians, they don't know how to deal with a man or a lady who is just being guided by God. But the funny part is God put the politicians there and the avatar, which is triggering the politicians. So are the politicians bad? Is the avatar bad? No, it's all right. It's all right. And the avatar understands that. Any of them, all of them, they understand if you're in a brutal situation and you're being ostracized, then that's a bigger message. It's not about your self-identity. We're all going to pass away, so why not live a meaningful life? Why not actually create change in humanity? Let's take it beyond just the selfish little family. Oh, me and my family, I'm going to protect and create generational wealth. And hey, that's a beautiful place to start. Beautiful place to start. But are we going to just stay there like you and your family? Because all the homeless addicts are my family too. Do we care about them? All the people in third worlds being starved to death due to political immaturity, they're my family too. Do I treat my sister better than them? No, because everyone's my family. Now, you'll get to a point naturally where that's your truth. Don't accept what I say. If it doesn't resonate with you, look at what it's triggering within you. Okay? Now, recap. What to do if you're so foggy you can't even consider seeing clearly. Right? Zoom out. Holistic audit. Start with your actions. Look at your relationship between your actions, your feelings, and your thoughts. Notice the judgments that you place on yourself. Write it all down. And also document, are there certain themes within certain times of the day? Are there certain themes within specific seasons? Okay. You can go more specific, but you get the gist of that right there. Now, and then also, I was going to say the key is movement. Okay, now I digress. Why getting clarity is not something to try to accomplish. And this is the art of not forcing while still executing, while still being honest, while still shooting shots. Like you don't force your shots, but if you intuitively feel you have an opportunity, go jump head first into that wave. See what happens. Maybe you end up and your feet are in the air. One of my favorite child memories is that I would let it happen. I loved it. Dive into the waves, let the waves just throw me around, and that was fun. Very fun. So, how I use a lack of clarity for internal navigation. Listen, like your triggers are releasing things that were trapped within you. Be grateful that what was trapped isn't trapped. Now, if you just avoid and numb, like 99% of humans, then the trapped thing is just going to go back inside its trap door. It'll come out, but if you don't shine light on it, then it has the space to go back into the dark. But if you open that trap door, you take the light and you shine at all within that trap door, then the trap door itself dissipates, right? And then rather than having trap things, you get new gateways to God, to Source, to Christ, to Buddha, to Allah, to Muhammad Jr., like whoever the fuck you want gateways to. Actually, it's not a want, but you get my point. You get these gateways when you're no longer trapping things inside of you, when your vessel is free of things that are trapped, then new gateways open up and you connect to something that you couldn't logically conceive. That's how it works. Now, I'm not saying believe me. Don't believe me. I'd rather you just question me. Be skeptical. Do the work. Now, okay. Ultimately, this works for you. If you're in this video, if you got to this far, like, you're awesome. You're going to have a great day. And I appreciate you. Genuinely. Let's go. Now, I do love you. I love you. That's what I want to wrap up with. New episodes out every Monday, Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. If you want to learn more, click the link in the description so you can get all the details on how I can potentially help you be free from anxiety, stress, trauma, so you can stop feeling empty inside. If you want to do the work, let's do the work.